I wanted to warn everyone that a lot of frauds are happening in my name. You might have come across these ads on Facebook or Instagram, and these fraudsters are using my name and my photograph without my permission. Please don't fall prey to these fraudsters. They might ask you for money, they might say that we will give you some investment advice, they might say that we will give you some stock tips. Please be sure of the fact that I don't give any stock tips, I don't provide any investment advice. My thought process is very simple: to educate and to empower people, right? Many people are also requesting others to join into some WhatsApp group. I don't have any WhatsApp group. I have only one WhatsApp community for my English channel and one WhatsApp community for my Marathi channel. The links of these communities are there in the description box, and both have a verified tick. So please don't fall prey to these fraudsters and spread the word as well. Hey folks, see Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a very informative video wherein we are going to discuss about a stock which came into limelight in the last month, mainly because of two reasons. The first one was about the income tax refund amount that the company got. You know, people like you and me will get an income tax refund of what some people will get in 1,000 rupees, some people may get in few lakhs, some people may get in few crores. But for LIC of India, the amount was how much? It was 21,740.77 crore rupees. That was, of course, not for 1 year. It was for assessment years 2012, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, all these assessment years put together, this was the income tax refund amount. But this went viral on social media that how could an amount be so big, right? So that was one reason why it came into limelight. There was one more reason why this stock came into limelight, and which was
आज आज LIC के शेयर रिकॉर्ड स्तर पर ट्रेड हो रहे हैं।
exactly. Now, when people saw this news that okay, it has hit an all-time high, we need to understand when did it hit all-time high and what happened after that. And for that, have a look at this. Now, if you see here, when our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, mentioned about LIC in his speech, that was 7th of February, right? And immediately you can see on the next trading day, that is on the 8th of February, there was a gap up in the stock, and the stock went almost 5.86% up. Immediate next day also, it made a high of how much? High of almost 1,175. So if you were to just have a look at how much was the gain from the close of 7th February till the highest point, this is almost 12%. So the stock gained almost 12% in how much? In just 2 days. But what has happened after that? So, of course, as I shoot the video, from the topmost point to the bottommost point, this stock has gone down by almost 23%. Okay, now you must be wondering, okay, this happened after the speech is what we are discussing till now, but when did the stock start to rally? So for that, what we are going to do, we'll just zoom out a little bit and try and understand this. So if you can see here, this is somewhere around the month of November, right? From here you can see the stock rallied from here till the highest point. This was almost acha, this is a bit more from this is of course on a daily candle that I'm talking about, but on a daily candle this stock was up by almost 90%. But now I have come to Nifty chart, because we need to understand that okay, LIC went up by almost 90%, but did Nifty also rally in the similar time frame? If you remember, that was somewhere in the beginning of November that we talked about the LIC rally. Now here on the Nifty chart you can see that the rally started somewhere around October end. So it's a very similar time frame, right? Be it October end or November first week or whatever. So here you can see, yes, Nifty has also rallied, and so did LIC of India as well. Now we have to understand that what could be few reasons for that. Number one, if you remember, the whole rally, one of the major areas where the rally was at the forefront was the PSU space. And of course, needless to say that LIC is in the PSU space. Number two, LIC has a lot of holding in a lot of PSUs. So the moment you can imagine other PSUs are rallying, the overall investment value that LIC will have in these PSUs, that is also going to go up. And so the market value of the invested amount, right, that is also going to go up, and it's going to be a positive factor for LIC. So it was these dual reasons because of which LIC also got a nice push. Well, we did discuss about how much investments LIC had in other PSUs, but we also need to understand one very interesting point as to who holds majority holding in LIC. And for that, we're quickly going to go on screener. And now if I go to the investors tab, here you will see that how much? 96%, 96.5% is held by President of India. So clearly it's a PSU. Agree. Now here you can understand that okay, if 96.5% is the holding, what about the maximum public holding criteria? Isn't it 75%? How come they are holding 96.5%? But if you have a look at this, you will understand that okay, up to 75% criteria is applicable after 3 years of listing. So basically the free float criteria of 25%, that will start post 3 years of listing. But what, have a look at this, clear cut market cap guidelines are also given. Okay, because LIC is having a larger market cap, that is why the 5 years criteria will be applicable for LIC. But wait, it's not even 5 years. If you have a look at this, you will understand that for LIC a specific exemption has been made, and for LIC the criteria is up to 10 years post listing. So what, 2032 will be the time frame where the government will have to ensure that their holding is pulled down from 96.5% to 75%. In simple words, I hope you have understood that there is no immediate selling pressure that can come up in LIC of India. Having said that, I hope you have understood the basic context of this stock. Now we need to understand some positives as well as some negatives on this stock. Well, before we move on, that is where the subscriber count stands of our channel. We are inching closer to the 50 lakh or 5 million landmark. So if you have not subscribed to our channel even today, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the bell icon. Now let's try and understand certain positive points about this company. Whatever base I have taken for all the figures that I'm going to present, majority of them is 9-month ended data, 9 months FY24, and I'm going to compare that with 9 months ended FY23. In certain cases, I may compare the half yearly data as well. Okay, so let's go one by one. Let's understand some important financial matrices. The very first one is profit after tax. Now if you see here, if I'm comparing the profit after tax 9 months ended data FY24 versus FY23, that has increased by 17.16%. Clearly that shows that how the company is focusing on increasing the profitability of the company. If you check at the solvency ratio, you can see that it has improved by 0.08. Now if you have a look at the yield on investments, there are two categories of on yield of investment. One is a policyholders fund and one is shareholders funds. Whatever I'm talking about, be it policyholders funds or shareholders funds, both have increased by 0.56% and 2.74% respectively. Going on to one more important metrics, which is assets under management. And if I'm talking about the 9-month ended data, it has gone up by 11.98%. And if I'm talking about the half year data, it has gone up by 10.47%. Now, why could the asset under management may have gone up? There could be two reasons for that. Possibility number one is whatever premium they are collecting, they might have invested that, and that is the reason why the AUM increased. Possibility one. Or possibility number two, you know that already. I told you in the previous section of the video that overall PSU space was rallying all as a bunch, right? That could also lead to the increase in AUM, right? Moving on to one more very interesting metrics, and that is typically seen only in insurance companies, that is the EV, that is the embedded value. Now if you are not aware about how different terms in the insurance sector are to be understood, are to be interpreted, I hope you are aware about something called as pro investor membership. I have this on my YouTube channel as well, where you just hit the join button and you subscribe for the pro investor membership. A similar pro investor membership is also available on our website rachanaranade.com. This is a membership where I help you understand as to how you can analyze companies from different sectors, and there are certain sectors where the matrices also differ based on the different sector. So if you want to invest in knowledge, don't hesitate to join the pro investor membership, right? But just to get back to our discussion, if I'm talking about embedded value, just to simplify this, I'm sure you know about enterprise value. Okay, so enterprise value and embedded value are similar to each other. I'm not saying they are same, obviously not, but they can be kind of comparable. Okay, for insurance sector it would be embedded value. Now if you see here, it is also continuously on an increasing trend, and as per the latest available data as at 30th September 23, that has gone up to 6.62 lakh crores, right? That's a big number again. Now having said all of, we talked about a lot of points that the financials, the various matrices are showing a good sign, right? But the big question is that with improving numbers, has the valuation also skyrocketed? And typically again, in case of insurance companies, market cap to embedded value is what is a metrics, very important metrics that is seen in insurance companies. So how will I tell whether this valuation is comparatively lower or not? For that, I'll have to compare the valuation with other peers. Okay, I understand that the peers that I'm going to tell you are some are from the private space as well, but just have a look at this. If you have a look at this data, you'll see that be it SBI Life, HDFC Life or ICICI Pru, all the MCAP by so market cap by Indian embedded value, these stand at more than 2. Whereas if I'm talking about LIC, that's less than 1, it's just at 0.87. So definitely the valuation is lower as compared to its peers. Now if we have a look at even one more very interesting data point, if you can see here, the non-par share, which was 9.45%, 9 months ended data 23, that has gone up to 14.04%. Now why am I so happy with this? What is this non-par concept? Okay, non-par means non-participating. Par is participating. Participating in what? Participating in the profits of the company. Now, I'll give you a very simplified example so that you understand the importance of non-par. Assume that if I go for a LIC ka policy, okay, some insurance policy. Possibility number one, they can say that, okay, Rachana, the maturity value of this policy will be XYZ rupees, whatever is the amount. Possibility number two, they may say, Rachna, the maturity value will be XYZ rupees plus bonus if applicable. Okay. If the point is plus bonus, it means that you as a policyholder are participating in the profits of the company. Okay. Good for you, good for people like you and me who will be the policyholders, but bad for LIC. Why? Because then they'll have to shell out some profit that they are getting to the policyholders. Okay, they'll be happy for the policyholders, but profitability is going to decrease a little bit, right? So if more and more non-par policies are sold, will that be a positive sign for the profitability of the company? Answer is yes. And that is why I'm so happy when I'm saying that it has gone up from 9.45% to 14.04%, right? Of course, all these points again I've dig down in detail in the Pro Investor membership. So yeah, you can definitely check that out. You can check that out as well. Okay, going back to one more point, VNB, that is value of new business. Now, what is this again? It's nothing but a measure of profitability for the new policies sold during the year. Okay, whatever policies are sold, whatever profit I expect, future profits throughout the life of the policy, उसका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू लिया जाता है. सो इट्स द प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ द फ्यूचर प्रॉफिट्स दैट आई एम गोइंग टू डिराइव फ्रॉम दैट पॉलिसी. दैट इज नथिंग बट VNB. Okay, value of new business. Again, if you don't understand this, just understand one point or remember one point, higher the better. Okay, what is the margin? It has gone up from 14.6% to 16.6%. And if I'm talking about net VNB in numbers, it has gone up from 5,478 to 5,938, and both these are rupees in crores, right? So I hope you have understood about the VNB point as well. But there is one more slide which I'm going to show you, which is a part of their investor presentation, which tells us the reason for increase in VNB margins. And for that, have a look at this. Now, if you see here, there are 2-3 reasons why the VNB margins have gone up and down. Okay, impact of business mix 4.9% upwards, impact of product benefits 3.6% downward. But there's also one more point, impact of assumptions. If the assumptions change, their margins can also change in whatever direction, upward or downward. Because of assumption only 0.7% it has increased. Okay, now moving on to the last point about the positives, it is about the improvement in persistency ratio. See, what do we mean by persistency? If I've opted for a 30-year long policy, and if I've opted for a yearly premium, ideally I should be paying premium on year basis. What if I stop after like 6 years, 7 years? That means I'm not persistent in paying the premiums, right? Higher the persistency, better it is going to be. And what is the case of LIC? Have a look at this. In the 13th month, it is at almost 78%. But if you see 21st month, 25th month, it goes to 71.92%. And if you check out the 61st month, it has gone down to 62.4%. But that's not how you analyze it, okay? Because ideally it is in a decreasing trend, as and how the number of years keep on increasing. You should compare it on a year on year basis, right? 9 months 24 versus 9 months 23, and every single parameter, be it 13 month 78, it's higher as compared to 77.61. 25th month 71.92, higher as compared to 71.32. You can just check majority of the cases, not all cases, but majority of the cases, it is higher as compared to the previous year. So I hope you have understood a lot of positive points about this company. Now let's understand certain negatives. Of course, same thing. I'm going to compare 9 months ended data FY24 as compared to 23. Now, if you see total premium collected, that itself has dropped by 5.69%. That's a big number, right? And if you have a look at total group business premium, that has gone down by 20.28%. Even individual new business premium has gone down shade lower by just 0.38%. Market share in the premium has gone down by 6.48%, and market share in the policies has gone down by 2.29%. Now, if you remember in the previous section, I did talk about a fact that yes, their profitability is going up, agreed. But if your total premium collection itself is going down, then the sustainability profit can be put at question. Okay, so I hope you have understood the importance of this. There's also one more important point that we need to understand in case of insurance companies, and that is annualized premium equivalent. And if you have a look at this slide, you can also very easily understand that total annualized premium equivalent that has gone down by almost 4.67%. Now, for those who don't understand what is the meaning of annualized premium equivalent, I'll try and explain this very quickly, see if you can grasp this. If I were to compare premiums of this year as compared to previous year, could there be a possibility that premiums can be collected in two ways? Possibility number one, premium is collected on a yearly basis. Okay. Possibility number two, it's a bullet payment. What do we mean by bullet payment? You pay only once and you are covered for 25 years. Okay. Now, can I compare 2 years premiums where in the let me go into the teaching zone. Have a look at this. Now, let us say this is financial year 23 and this is financial year 24. Now, assume that in the previous year, whatever premiums were collected, I'm doing this for simplicity of understanding, whatever premiums were collected in the previous year, all were yearly premiums. Okay. And that amount was, let us say, 102 rupees. This year, 100 rupees worth premium was such which was yearly premium, and there was one policy sold for 10 years tenure and for which 10 rupees premium was collected. Okay, so what is the total? Total is 110. Now, what will I can actually imagine this like Sadharan Tikia and Vim Tikia or something like that. So, Sadharan content consumer and CRR content consumer. You have to understand the difference, right? So, here, Sadharan can say, Array, it has gone up from 102 to 110. Very nice. Array, wait. We have to also understand APE. Okay. And for that, what you do is typically you compare the equivalent of a year. So, I'm just trying to simplify this. 10 for 10 years. 10 rupees premium is collected for 10 years. So, for 1 year, how much? This is 8th standard algebra. So, for 1 year, it is going to be only 1 rupee. So, what will be the APE? Tell me, it will be 100 plus not 10. It will be 100 plus 1. And that is why it will be 101. And in the previous year, what assumption had we taken? That it is only yearly. So, 102 as compared to 101. So, in fact, what has happened? That it has gone down. And what would Sadharan Tikia do? They would have said, Array, it has gone up. Okay, so I hope you're understanding the importance of this concept of what? Annualized premium equivalent, that is APE. Simple till here? Okay, fantastic. There's one more reason that we have to understand, and for that, we are here on TradingView and I've pulled out a weekly chart for LIC. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a horizontal line which is actually touching the first week's high for LIC. Now, typically, what we have to understand in technical analysis is that this high point, this was never taken out post listing until what date? Until January 2024. Okay, and when is the week of listing? It's May 2022. So almost 2 years. Almost. After that, it broke out from this level. It did retest here. It bounced up from that. And right now, as I shoot the video on 26th of March, you can see in the previous week, it actually broke, and right now what is happening is it is taking a resistance here. So it is typically said in technical analysis that once a support, now it is going to act as a resistance, and the same point can be very clearly seen in a daily time frame as well. It broke the support and right now it is going to act as a resistance. So this point of what, 920 roughly, is going to be a crucial level. If you found some value in today's video, don't forget to share this video with your friends. Don't forget to smash the like button. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye.